Peace YouTube, Who is Sugar, back with a really quick video, I promise. Alright, as the title says, I am back with another side-eye video. And Lord knows, there have been plenty of side-eye events that has taken place over the past like 24 hours. But I'm not going to get into all of them. But if I was going to get into them, I would talk about this polish again, how I put it on and it just peeled off my nails. And I was like, really? And then how like this juice, this orange banana strawberry juice, but shoot, just some juice. Why would you give that the side eye? This messed with the side eye because for real, y'all, this stuff had me broke down. Like I was so sick that I was sleepy this morning. That's how sick this stuff had me. And of course, like gas prices will get the side eye for me. And so honey, what I'm about to present you with gets the ultimate side eye, and it just completely side eyes everything that I just said just now. Okay, so you're probably wondering, girl, what is it? So if you want to know, stay tuned. Okay, let me give you some history right fast, all right? No, not even a couple, like a month ago, I went into this particular store, okay? That, you know, when you walk in, sometimes they kind of like soliciting you to get like home improvement stuff and, you know, whatever. I'm not going to mention the store, but that's the store I was in. It was like, hey, you want to get your roof with some siding and some windows and some paint in the gutter and, you know, a new furnace. I was in one of those type of stores, okay? So the guy who was standing there in front of the booth area with this particular home improvement section, he was like, yo, I really like your hair. So I was like, thank you, honey. So he was like, well, can you do my hair? Okay, this brother had dreadlocks, right? So I told him, no, I cannot do your hair, but my sister, Carm Baby, who is a stylist out of Virginia Beach, she can do your hair for you, right? And so he was just like, oh, I don't know about all that. I was like, no, she is thebomb.com. You need to go to her to get your hair done, right? So instead of like me getting some old school pencil and paper, I said, how about you give me your phone number and I'm going to punch it into my cellular device and I'm going to send you a text message and I'm going to say, you know, hey, this is Sugar. My sister's name is Carm Baby. Talk to her. She'll hook you up. She'll get your hair done. It's going to be banging, right? Boom. So I sent the information to him, right? He sends me another text message. Dang, girl, I can't believe your name is Sugar. And I was like, huh? I get that all the time, but for real, my name is Sugar. And he was just like, oh, okay, because I like that. And I was like, oh, I guess. And you know, he was like, are you sure you don't want to do my hair? And I was like, no, when my husband had locks, I used to do his hair, but he's the only male that hair I'm going to be doing unless it's my son's or whatever. So no, I'm not going to do your hair. You need to contact my sister, Carm Baby. She's the bomb. She'll do your hair, right? That was the end of that, okay? So then, like 2-3 weeks ago, the 4th of April, this man, honey child, he sends me a message and he says, my name is, whatever his name is, I'm not going to put his name out there. I met you at this particular store. I was in this section. Is there any way that I could use you as a reference, right? So my first thought was, what? I don't know you like that. How am I supposed to write you a reference for a job? And that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so it was like a 2-part message. So then the other message come through and it was like, you know, I just need to use it as a reference. You know, this is what I do for the job, blah, 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 right? I didn't even respond to that. Per my friend Michelle, she was just like, girl, don't respond to that mess because that's just the foolishness, right? I didn't respond to it. Today, I get a phone call on my cellular device, okay? The person was like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm from the such and such. I was calling to see if you want some home improvement type stuff, right? So I'm just like, no, because I just spent all these thousands of dollars to have my plumbing redone. What I need some home improvement stuff for, right? That like makes no sense whatsoever. I was like, no. I was like, and who are you again? He was like, well, I'm trying to speak to Miss Sugar. And I was like, no, nobody be calling my phone telling me some Miss Sugar. I was like, oh Lord. I said, who are you now? He's like, I'm from this store. So I was just like, what? He said, you came into the store today and you filled out this form for referral to get, you know, your house and stuff looked at, right? So I'm like, no, I did not. I just got home from work, which gets a side eye. But I got home from work and no, I didn't fill out a particular form or whatever, right? So he was just like, well, this is what we have down. What's your last name again? And so I went through the whole spiel. Long story short, this man, bless his heart, because he looked like he was the youth. He gonna mess around and he probably gonna get fired behind this mess. Because then the corporate manager called me up and was like, what is going on? So I explained to him. I forwarded this person all these text messages and was like, look, I don't know what kind of mess y'all got running, but I don't approve of any of that. I was at work. And see, stuff like that, people need to stop lying, because kind of accident, some kind of crime scene situation would have went down, and it was like, well, she was at the, because she wrote her name on this piece of paper, and we calling her for some home improvement stuff. And it's like, no, I don't approve of any of those things. So that young man gets the, from me. So listen, if you work in a store where you are to get people referrals for businesses and stuff, don't go do stuff like that, because that's not cool. As I step off my soapbox for Side Eye Saturday, broadcasting early on a Tuesday. So yeah, that is it. If you have any Side Eye worthy events that's taking place with you, leave them down below or make a response video. So that is it. Be blessed. Peace. Did you hear that? Somebody's playing outside my door.